Lauren's asleep on the couch. I don't want her to wake up and then.
Hold on. She didn't press the video.
Hello, and welcome to the Penguins Collective podcast. My name is Louie,
My name is Josh,
and we are just two sad brothers who love to talk about hockey.
especially the Pittsburgh Penguins.
It was a tough one tonight. The Pittsburgh Penguins fall to the Dallas Stars 4-1. Pretty bad game. Thank you so much for joining us on Twitch, on YouTube. I see you. I appreciate you. Don't forget to write a comment, put it in the chat. We could see your comments. We want to hear what you have to say about this terrible, terrible loss to the Dallas Stars. Josh, what was your first reaction today?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because we'll get to it when we talk to when we get to our different segs today. But
all the segs
coming out kind of good.
You mean first period?
Yeah, first period. What is his name? Ned.
Nedeljkovic.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Josh Getzoff for giving us that proper pronunciation.
Yeah. Without that interview with Josh Getzoff, I would never know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah. So Nedeljkovic came out pretty strong. Looked good.
He looked good for 2 periods.
Yeah, he looked good. But the first period, everything just seemed to be good. Everything seemed to be clicking. A lot different than the last game. And we're getting opportunities, getting chances. We had some power. We had a power play. We had 4-on-4. We had room to skate. A whole bunch of stuff was happening in the first period. It was was nice. And then literally like what, 30 something seconds, 40 something seconds, and Russ left in the first, and Russ scores. So
yeah,
which was super needed because, you know, going into that first intermission, you had all those chances, all those opportunities to score. If you didn't put one on the board, like it would have felt like a total like waste of a period. You know, with how the whole game ended, you know, it did kind of still feel like a waste of a first because you had all those chances and you only walk away with one goal. So, and then second period, thing that you've been talking about all season, something that we've talked about all last season.
Yeah.
Play a full 60 minutes because that second period, you put it out there on the Twitterverse, you know, they took their foot off the gas, which that's not what you need to do when you had all those chances in the first and no goal, like only one goal to show for it. Like you need to keep generating those chances so that you can get the opportunity to have more goals. But it just nothing came to it, and just start of the downward spiral in the second. I think they got 2 goals in the second. Yeah, it was 2-1 going into the third because I was still optimistic about the third. I thought, okay, if they just play like they played in the first, we can get 2 goals and walk out with the win. And it went downhill from there.
I would.
Don't know what happened with. No, I was just gonna say, don't know what happened with DALvPIT. His game went down in the third. Which, I mean, I'm not saying like, you know, he looked like Casey DeSmith out there. I mean, he was just trying to. I feel like he was doing too much. I think
that's what I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it was because the defense kind of left him out to dry, especially a couple times into the third.
Yes,
how many times they left him out.
Jackson.
Oh, Jackson in the chat on YouTube. Thank you for watching the Nedeljkovic play that led to the unassisted. Yeah, that was one of the worst plays I've ever seen in my life. I understand why he initially jumped out in the third. Like, I understand why he did that. But then the rest of the Penguins players just stood there because I think they were just as baffled at what Nedeljkovic was doing. They were kind of just looking around like, is that what we're, that's what we're doing. Okay. So I guess go ahead and score. Now that also goes to show how many times the defense has left Nedeljkovic out to dry. It was kind of abysmal. I think it happened a couple times in the first, which led to good shots on net from the Stars. Nedeljkovic put them away, but I don't know. I just think the defense did not play great at all. I mean, we had a new pairing on the bottom, which was Shea and the first-time NHL player Ludwig. That was his first game tonight.
Yeah. Well, it was Shea's first game, last game.
So we have some new defense, and I think we're in the midst of Sullivan playing around with young guys who are into defense, maybe more physical guys who can finish checks, lay it out, really go hard, while we have playmakers like Letang and Carlson to do what they need to do. But you also need to have that physicality, which I think Ludwig brought a lot of. He finished his checks. He went out for that open hit. And I'm going to get into it right now, if that's okay, Josh.
Well, if you want, do you want to just seg into our next segs?
Well, no, I don't want to. This isn't really. I guess we could do the segs, right? Yeah, let's do the segs, Josh. No one tells us what to do. Let's do segs right now. All right. So our first seg of the night is a new segment here at the Penguins Collective podcast. Is the good, the bad, the ugly. Josh kind of introduced it a couple episodes ago, and we kind of like it. I think it's good to kind of take this time to, kind of go back and look at the episode, look at the game, and see what was good for the Penguins, what was bad for the Penguins, and then was just absolutely atrocious. And let's start off with the good, Josh. What was the good for a bit.
Yeah. So we have two answers here because it's Nedeljkovic and his play, and then I don't know if you saw my edit to the note late in the third. It was, how about the first period? And
Yeah.
So
yeah, Jackson coming in with another comment. The good was Ottinger from the Dallas Stars. He's the goaltender of the Dallas Stars. He looked phenomenal. I mean,
yeah,
I'll say that. He made Sidney Crosby look like a third liner
I
on a
forgot how
lot
good
of
he
his
was.
shots. He was good, but
Yeah.
I think we still have enough talent and enough skill to beat goalies like Ottinger. I think we can. I
Sure.
think, but the problem was we're getting out off topic. We'll get back to Ottinger, okay, Jackson? We'll get back to Ottinger. But let's go with the good, the bad, the ugly. Josh, the good, we kind of made two changes. What was the first one? What was the second one?
Yeah, so Nedeljkovic was the first one for how he was playing in the first and second period.
100%.
He
He looked solid for a backup.
He was playing solid because Dallas Stars were getting shots up. They were getting their shots up.
Yeah.
And he was making the saves. It's the NHL. You can't you can't have a shutout every night. So you're playing against the best in the world here. So it's understandable to let in a couple against the Dallas Stars. They're high powered. They're a good offense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But then the third period happened, and he was making some boneheaded moves. So I added to the notes, how about the first period for the good? Just because that first period, Penguins were firing. They like I said, they were moving up and down the ice. I can't. I mean, I'm sure I can remember a few faceoffs lost. But it just seemed like everything was going their way. Every faceoff, loose pucks, the shots, the chances, everything was going their way in the first. So that was kind of why I wanted to add that in there too, just because that was a good period, but unfortunately just couldn't carry it over.
No, 100%. All right, now let's turn to the bad of the good, the bad, the ugly. Bad was the turnovers. I don't know how I lost count of how many turnovers. It was started in the first early. It continued on in the second, and it got even worse in the third period. It's not just simple turnovers at the blue line. It's not Malkin making cute little passes and not getting them through, and it goes into another breakaway. What it is cross ice passing in the offensive zone. Now, I understand that used to be so effective on our power play. I understand that used to get guys off guard, and it would actually set up some one-timers, and I understand that, and I'm not oblivious to sometimes that works. But against this good Dallas Stars team, it stopped getting cute after the first 5 minutes of the game. We were in the zone, and we're just trying to pass it across from Malkin to Crosby, but Crosby was behind the right of Ottinger, and then Malkin was at the top right, of the blue line. So he's passing across, like diagonal from the blue line to behind Ottinger. What are we doing? There's two guys there. Let's try to circle. Let's go back to the basics here. Todd Reardon, this is something that's on you. Stop trying to make these players just plant and just hope that we get an open shot. That's not going to work. That's never worked for a power play in the last 5 years in the NHL for any team. You need to consistently start moving, and it cost us how many times tonight? And that's just the power play. So many other times we were just in the offensive zone, we turned the puck over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not only just in the offensive zone, trying to get to the offensive zone. It seemed like trying to get through, the center of the ice was almost impossible. And it's like frustrating because that's kind of, one of the reasons, I shouldn't say reasons, but that was one of the, things that Erik Karlsson was good at.
Yeah.
And it just seems like he's just struggling to mesh so far. And yes, it's only 6 games in of 82. We'll get there, but it's frustrating that it's not there yet. And I understand that this is like we have to trust the process, for a lack of a better phrase.
Yeah.
And just, hope that it pulls together. And I mean, we'll see. I mean, I talked about in last episode, Dubas isn't afraid to make changes already. He sent Harkins on waivers.
Yeah.
He benched, I don't know if he benched, but Mike Sullivan, he benched Joseph, and now he benched Ruedel.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
And
See what happens
those
next.
weren't bad changes. Those weren't bad. I see a lot of people going after Mike Sullivan, and we'll talk about it in a second. But these changes are what's expected this early in the season. We have so many new faces on this roster, okay? Not including people that are in Wilkes-Barre right now. So you have to understand and give a little grace to Mike Sullivan. He has a whole new half roster. He hasn't played with them. He doesn't understand their strengths and their weaknesses yet. The only way you can actually...
I'm going to push back a little bit.
Okay, so he should know a little bit. But what I'm
bit.
saying is playing in a game versus camp is completely different.
That's
okay?
fair.
Like, look at Ludwig, okay? And we're going to tie this into our ugly, Josh.
Yeah.
So Ludwig did not start on the opening roster. In fact, he was in Wilkes-Barre. He got sent to Wilkes-Barre. So what does that tell you? That means he's good. He's good enough to, almost make the roster, but he didn't. Today, it was his first game in the NHL. Congratulations to him. He played great. Now, is that because it was his first game? Was that because, there's so many things tied into it? He looked good. He was on the last pairing with Shea. Shea just had his first NHL start last game, but Ludwig looked good. He went and finished checks. He was out there. He was moving the puck well. He looked good. He looked good. Unfortunately, this is where the ugly comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Ludwig going after an open ice hit in center ice was a phenomenal hit. I think it was on Pavelski, was it not? Yeah, I think it was on Pavelski. I have to go check it out. I was a little distracted with what happened.
Yeah.
So Ludwig went in, a high hit, a clean hit, okay? And it looked like the helmet of the Dallas Stars player hit his jaw at the right angle, where it kind of acted as like a right hook in a boxing match where you see these guys just get knocked out cold. And that's what happened. He went right to the ice. He hit the ice hard. He was already out before he hit the ice.
Yeah.
Everyone thought
he went limp.
He went limp. A lot of people on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure Josh Getzoff and Colby Armstrong, thought the ice is what did it. When he landed, it knocked him out. But that's not what happened. He got knocked out immediately, and he was out before he hit the ice. Scary situation here in Pittsburgh.
Hopefully he gets back. Yeah, gets back to the game soon, but he's got to get healthy first.
100%. Prayers go out to John Ludwig. He looked good out there. He looked very good. It was sad to see him go early. Obviously, he's hurt, and we had to play with 5 defensemen for the rest of the game. But Jackson comes in with a great comment. Yeah.
Yes. So just to answer that, Jackson, they are opposite. So P.O. Joseph was benched for Shea because they're the same side, and then Ruedel for Ludwig. And that's that. So if you are referring to Ludwig and POJ, they would be able to pair together. And I agree with you. I think that would
100%
be a good, nice pairing because you have the kind of offensive mindset of POJ, and then with the defensive / physicality of Ludwig, that would mesh well. In my mind, that's what I would do once Ludwig is healthy, of course.
And that's 100% what Sullivan is going to do next, right? So we played, Ludwig played solid. Ruedel did not play solid. P.O. Joseph did not play solid. Shea didn't play that great today. Granted,
he had a
better start than he did last game. But this is only his second game, so it's a small sample size against a very good team. So we're going to see a lot of pairings mixed up. Probably not the first two. Marcus Pettersson looked great with Carlson. today. Letang looked good with Graves. I mean, Graves did not look that great today. He was just kind of fumbling the puck a lot. Letang made some mistakes. So did Carlson. Everyone kind of just did not play well today. But you're going to see that bottom 4 pairings. You're going to see that change a little bit, I think. Bottom 2 pairings. Well, they're pairings. So the bottom.
So you think the Letang and
I think you're going to see something switch out there just to test out. I think Carlson and Pettersson is a solid top line for the Penguins right now. They're looking good. Yeah. Pettersson looked good today. But the bottom 2 pairings, I don't know. We'll see what Mike Sullivan does. But speaking of Josh, I saw a lot of hate. On Twitter today.
You want to get into it?
Welcome to another seg, okay? I'm making this up on the spot. Welcome to another segment of Louie's Rants here on the Penguins Collective. If you don't know, I live tweet the game. Hashtag TPC Live, right? We're on every single game. I tweet throughout the game. I sometimes interact with you guys. And something that I saw reoccurring is this blasphemous talk against Mike Sullivan, our head coach here. All right, I see people saying, let's fire him. Things have to change. We are sick and tired of losing. And how can you be sick and tired of losing after 4 losses? Okay, there's an 82-game season. All right, let's start there. Okay, 82 games. Okay, I don't want to come out swinging. I don't want to come out angry. But you guys realize this isn't football, right? You guys realize there's more than 17 games, right? It's not like Mike Sullivan is literally having a headset telling Sidney Crosby what to do exactly with the puck. Hockey is completely different than football. They're helpless back there. During hockey games, coaches are helpless. They can tell the team what to do. They can inform them what they would like to see on the ice. They can give a little inspirational speech after 20 minutes of play. But one thing they can't do is call a play. Sidney Crosby gets paid millions of dollars to do that, right? They are not calling the plays. So can we stop? Can we stop pretending that the Penguins are the Steelers, okay? Mike Sullivan's not Canada, okay? You can't fire him just because we're not looking good after 4 losses. The 2 games, after 2 wins, did anyone mention about Mike Sullivan? No, they said, great job, guys. Good job, boys. We got a long season ahead of us. So let's stop the hypocrisy. Let's stop the blasphemy of Mike Sullivan, okay? We have so many more games to go. Kyle comes in the chat. What's up, bud? We have heaps of games to go, and it's a good time to make a little slight changes and give the boys a go for a few games to gel it together a bit. Exactly, Kyle. I love that mentality. In fact, that's exactly the mentality Mike Sullivan has right now. He is the head coach of a very good hockey team. He has to allow them to do the things they're going to do. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to let in easy goals. They're going to score phenomenal goals. They're going to make amazing saves. Mike Sullivan can't get credit only for the bad. You have to give him credit for the good. You got to wait until he makes a lot of changes in the lineup. We have how many Hall of Famers? We have 4 Hall of Famers guaranteed on our roster right now. Guaranteed. Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin. Debatable 5. Depending
6.
on how Jari finishes his career, yeah, Jari, and depending on how Jari.
You don't think who the 6th who wait. Go name the Hall of Famers right now.
Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, Erik Karlsson.
Yes.
John Gensel.
Maybe.
Who else are you talking about? Jari, maybe.
Jeff Carter.
Oh, Josh, that's a joke. All right, shut up.
He's a two-time Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah, back when hockey was used.
It doesn't matter.
It's different.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
just because his skill set now doesn't reflect his time as a 2-time Stanley Cup champion.
But that's not a guaranteed Hall of Famer, so that's a maybe. I'll throw that up as a maybe.
I think his maybe is better than
Jackson
Gensel's.
Jackson comes in with some stirring the pot material. All right. Watch it, Jackson. All right. You're stirring the pot here. Jeff Carter revenge story. Yeah. Listen, Mike Sullivan has Hall of Famers. Apparently, Jeff Carter on the fourth line, Hall of Famer. Okay? He has a lot of guys he's working with here. And for you guys, okay, listen, I have a lot of hot takes. I get heated easily, as you can tell. It's 6 games into the season. It's 6 games. You guys are acting like you don't know hockey. I see all these Twitter people who have podcasts talking about Mike Sullivan. Is he the right fit for behind the bench? We might need to make some changes soon. So, it hasn't even been a month of hockey yet. We're at the end of October, but the first game was October 17th. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? It hasn't been 10 days. Like, figure it out.
It has been 10 days.
Yeah, I know.
First game. Yeah. It was like,
yeah, whatever.
Because we had all those.
Yeah, those gaps. But what I'm saying is,
think of the word.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is you guys need to stop overreacting. There'll be chances, trust me, when we get to overreact. There'll be chances when we get to start putting someone on the hot seat. You're putting Mike Sullivan on the hot seat when he didn't put this team together. Kyle Dubas did. So you can't say Mike Sullivan is in trouble when Kyle Dubas came in and slashed our roster in half and said, here's no names. Figure out how to make a Stanley Cup roster. The only person that's of note is Erik Karlsson, which is a great trade. I'm happy that he made that trade. Now, in no way am I saying is Kyle Dubas or Mike Sullivan at fault for 6 games into the season. He has so many chances to redeem himself. What happens if the Pittsburgh Penguins go on a 16-game run? Are we changing our tune? Are we saying, wow, Mike Sullivan really turned that locker room around? Or what are we going to do?
Yeah,
How hypocritical can we be as Penguins fans? This isn't football. This isn't football where we're going to just start saying, okay, hey, we got a couple games left. If this is a crucial game here. That's what I saw today. This was a crucial game. Is it? Our backup is starting. How is it a crucial game? If it's a crucial game, Jari would be starting. If it was a crucial game, Shea and Ludwig would not be the last pairing of the defense. This was a game that we knew we were going to lose. Think about it strategically. Mike Sullivan, we just came off of what? A couple-day break. You would think Jari is getting the start tonight. You would think it's a couple days break. Everyone has time to rest. Our main goaltender will start. But that's not what happens. Kyle comes in with the chat. Swapping a guy here and there takes some time to see how it will all play out. Coach makes a move, and he'll either be instantly praised or demonized next game based on results. Got to give it time. Kyle, you're preaching to the choir here, bud. I love it. That's what I'm trying to get at here. It's absolutely ludicrous to start making these wild claims after 6 games. We have a lot of time. Mike Sullivan is a Hall of Fame coach as of right now. He is. He came in December of 2016 after Mike Johnson was the worst turnaround coach of history. Okay, wasn't even here a full season. Then he turns it around and we win the cup that year. And then we win the cup the next year. And we would have won again if it wasn't for the Washington Capitals in the second round. And yes, I know things have changed in the last couple of years. Our speed has gone down. We're not as young as we once were. But whoop-de-top dipped and do, that's not Mike Sullivan's job. His job is not to get players. It's to play with the people he got. And you got to give him some time, like Kyle is saying in the chat. So everyone, that's it for this segment. My rant is over. Mike Sullivan's still a good head coach. Stop pretending like Mike Sullivan is the cause here. Jackson comes in the chat. Could Carter be scratched, or is that plausible with his contract? Thought he did okay tonight, at least compared to all the other flaws tonight. I also know Sully loves him, and I'll tell you why, Jackson. Josh, you're not going to talk right now because of your crap with Carter. Listen,
I got no crap with Carter.
Jackson, ready? Carter is in the lineup and he's being utilized, especially on the second power play line,
face-offs,
because he wins. Josh, don't steal my thunder right now, okay? He wins face-offs. Kyle, thank you so much. You're saying I'm on fire right now. Thank you. The reason why he's still here and he's still playing with the Penguins right now, he is phenomenal at face-offs. Behind Sid right now, he is still the best face-off taker in the Penguins roster. Last year, he was number 1. So he is that's the reason why he's there. He's good in the face-off circle, and he's just a big body that you can't throw around.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Now,
contractually, though, no one wants that. Yeah, no one wants that contract. That's the issue.
Yeah.
And if we were to cut him, like,
we
you still have to pay him.
Yeah, he has a no movement clause as well.
Yeah.
So we can't get rid of him. We can't trade him. It's against his contract, which is the only way he leaves is if he wants to.
Yeah, but that's the crazy thing, though. Like, Hextall and Sullivan, like, I don't know if Sullivan had any say in this, but like his contract is wild. So like
his contract is wild.
It has no movement clause, but then it also has like a retirement clause that if he retires mid-season,
we still have
mid contract, we have to honor the rest of the contract.
So he's basically like a quarterback, Jackson. If you're a big Steeler fan, it's like if Kenny Pickett got guaranteed amount on his contract, no matter what happens. Kind of like Kirk Cousins for the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah. Guaranteed money.
Oh, no, Russell Wilson, perfect example.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sean Payton wants to bench Russell Wilson, but they're paying him way too much money to bench him.
You got to throw him out.
Jeff Carter.
That's Jeff Carter. Now, listen, Jeff Carter, he's looking better this year. I'm being serious. Look at sample size, 6 games, everyone. Remember that. Yep. Keep that in your brain.
And early season, fresh legs.
Early season, fresh legs. He probably was sitting on a beach all summer. But listen, last year compared to this year, he seems faster. He seems like he's willing to share the puck more and actually play the role that he's been put in, right? Mm-hmm. 4th line center/winger. I appreciate it. I think he understands where he's at right now in his career. He's an old guy. He's there for face-offs. That's it. And I think that's exactly how he's playing, and he's doing it well. So guess what? I'm kind of liking him right now. Now, Jackson, I got to ask you, who would you want to replace him with? So if you wanted to get rid of him, if you wanted to scratch him, Jackson responds, so we are on a Carter revenge tour. I don't want to hear that, but if you just sample size of what I just said, then probably yeah. If you clip what I just said,
snip that. We're all for Jeff Carter.
Yeah, you could just say we're a Jeff Carter show right now, but we're not. No, I mean, listen, it's a sample size. You got to give it some time. But I think Jeff Carter could be a good guy down the stretch if he maintains his legs and he starts being more physical. That's my thing.
He won't be more physical. I promise you that.
He won't. But enough with. Can I go on my soapbox one more time, Josh? Can I go on my soapbox one more time? It's my podcast now. Listen.
It really is. I think I've said 3 words.
Listen. Guess what I saw on Twitter? Okay. Mike Sullivan blasphemy, and then the most disgusting thing of all, Sidney Crosby blasphemy. Okay. Let's talk about it. All right. On Twitter, I'm seeing, wow, Sid had a terrible game today. Oh, he seems so lost. Oh, he just seems everywhere. Oh, Sidney Crosby, does he even have it anymore? Once again, 6 games in. Second of all, we're playing a very good team. Third of all, it's Sidney freaking Crosby. How dare you talk of him like that? 4th, why are you bringing up Sidney Crosby faults right now when Malkin has a plank in his eye? Why are you bringing the speck in Sidney Crosby's eye when there's a plank in Malkin's eye? With all the turnovers and the selfishness that we see from Evgeny Malkin, and you're choosing to attack our captain like that? Man, I was talking with my boss today. Penguins fans are toxic sometimes, dude.
Sometimes?
Toxic. Like, how dare you attack Crosby for having like 1 bad game? And it wasn't even a bad game. Like, he looked good on other ends. He had nice passes. Let's talk about the Russ goal. Who do you think set that up? Crosby launched it from behind in our own defensive zone, bounced it off the boards to Gensel. Gensel slid it right open to a pass, to a shot for Sol. What are we talking about here? He had a good game. Not a great one, but he had a good one. And you're telling me that Crosby had a bad game? Listen, these people have Twitters, have followers. They're influenced by your remarks, okay? It's ridiculous. It's chronicled. It's all these things that are written down, okay? And people are listening and watching you tweet, and they take this and they pretend like, oh, yeah, that's what it means. That's what it means to be a Penguins fans. Jackson comes in, also 2 power play goals this season. It is atrocious. It is atrocious. Jackson's right. Our power play has not been good. But let me tell you, that also has something to do with the coach here. Because I'll tell you.
Is Jackson referring to Sidney Crosby's 2 power play goals?
Oh, yeah,
I think that's what he's saying. I think he's backing up your support.
Oh,
by
also,
saying, even on such an atrocious power play, he has 2 power play goals.
Oh, yes. Thank you for the clarification, Josh. Now you can be quiet again. Yeah, you're right, Jackson. No, you're right. You're right. I mean, Sidney Crosby has done so much this season alone. He is still so good. He's still going to get all the points. And I don't understand how toxic this fan base is. I'm tweeting away. I'm trying not to get into fights on Twitter because I'm just trying to understand where the mentality is. Fire our head coach after 6 games, and Sidney Crosby doesn't have it anymore. Those are just ridiculous takes that sound like they're coming from a crazy person that lives off of Go-Gurts and lives in their mom's basement. It makes no sense, okay? Makes no sense, and it's absolutely ludicrous. Let's change the subject. I'm heated. Let's get going.
Wow,
Josh.
Do we even have any time to change subjects?
We do. We have our last seg, Josh. We have our last seg. But no, go ahead. If you have any hot takes, Josh, or if you have soapbox, the floor is yours now.
No, I'm gonna save my hot takes for the next episode. I don't have any. I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I got nothing. But no, the one thing I will say is that you did nail it in terms of like probably Sullivan's mindset coming into this game. Because you're right. You know, Jari is supposed to be our guy. Paid him to be the guy. Yep. And you would expect him to get a start today after however many days off, and then to start on Thursday with, you know, a day off in between. 100%. It's not a back-to-back. So why Nedeljkovic? You know, they kind of.
I'll tell you why. It's 100%.
They knew. They knew.
Well, I don't think it's like, oh, hey, guys, we're going to lose, so tank. It's like, hey, we're putting in Nedeljkovic. Let's make the best of this game. We have new pairings at the bottom defensively. Yeah. Hey, we're switching up some lines and we're seeing some combinations. This is our play around game. And we played around, you know, the phrase, you mess around, you find out. And that's exactly what this game was.
Did anyone look at our opponent that's going to be on Thursday?
No.
Colorado Avalanche.
So that's an easy win, guys.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you play around. Like, yes, Dallas Stars, they're a good team. But that's a team where you play around with as opposed to Colorado. Oh, who coming in here?
Jackson coming in on Jari
slander. Yes.
Yeah, listen, I've been a part of Jari slander last year, okay? I'm a recovering Jari slanderist, okay? I was slandering Jari all last season. I think he was bad last season. Let's be honest, okay?
He was hurt last season.
Well, if you can't play, you can't be our starting goaltender. Sorry. So I was saying things against him. This season, he looks good. I think the encouragement from the organization with this new pay raise, with saying that, hey, you are our goaltender. We got rid of the guy who wants to be the starter, right? Nedeljkovic coming in, understands his role. He knows that you're number one, okay? I think with that backup with Jari, he's played better and he's more confident, and I love that. I want to be proven wrong. All right. I think I've made it clear in so many episodes in this podcast. If I have a problem with the player, please prove me wrong. Jari, I told him like we were having a conversation.
We did.
We did. You go back and watch. Last season I was all over Jari, and I said, please prove me wrong. Please, next season, prove me wrong. Why you deserve to be the best candidate for the starting job. And he has. So far, he's played well. He's got a shutout. He has been looking good, and that's great. I can't wait. There's even rumors of him, what was it, on ESPN or TNT ESPN on, I don't know, NHL. They said, look out for Jari to be a Vezina finalist.
Yeah, candidate. Yeah, absolutely.
And great. Do that. Go win Vezina. Be our best goaltender. I'm all for it. So I don't understand the Jari slander. I don't understand the Crosby slander, and I don't understand the Malkin slander. I don't even understand.
Mike Sullivan.
What did I say?
Malkin.
I understand the Malkin slander. I understand the Malkin slander. Hey, Kyle, thanks for stopping by. He's heading out. Thank you guys so much for watching. All right. Josh, what else we got going on for this episode? We got to wrap it up. I went on too many rants.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I'm cool with just transitioning into the next game, which is Thursday.
All right. Next game Thursday. We're not going to do three. We're not going to do the 3 stars because the 3rd star is Ottinger, 2nd star is Ottinger, 1st star is Ottinger. He did look phenomenal. He looked like a Vezina finalist.
Yeah,
he looked fun. He looked phenomenal. I was going to tweet this out, but when Crosby was making these, like, his normal one-timers where he drops to a knee, it made him look soft. Like, he was reading it. He knew, like, every time Crosby shot, he was already there. And I was like, oof.
Did you see?
Ottinger's making him look bad.
There were a couple times where they slowed it down. They did slow motion on the replay.
Yeah,
you can see he picks up his head and just looks right at Crosby. And it's like,
like, he was like, I read it, bud. I read it, bud.
Yeah, it's like,
well, I mean,
that's
also,
gotta be the worst feeling.
It's also like if you robbed Alexander Ovechkin. You know where he's shooting from. You know how he's shooting. It's kind of like that. You know Crosby's going to do the one-timer down to his knee right at the back door. So, like, he knew multiple times. And Crosby even knew. He was laughing. Like, you knew. He was like, I kind of made it that obvious that I was doing that. So, hey, Ottinger played good. Hats off to you. That's that. Let's talk about the next game, shall we? Thursday. 7 o'clock start?
I believe so. Cale Makar and the Avalanche come to town. And I think that's why.
Over McKinnon.
Trust me. Cale Makar.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
No, it's not. Over McKinnon. I mean, McKinnon, did you see that movie the other night?
I'm just saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're saying McKinnon is better than Makar? Or Makar is better than McKinnon?
They're two different positions. You can't.
Josh, answer the question. I'm putting
who's better, Malkin or Karlsson?
I mean, as of right now, Karlsson.
Okay, but again, you can't compare.
Karlsson just won the Norris Trophy. Karlsson just won the Norris Trophy.
Okay, and Cale Makar won the award for the best defenseman.
That was Karlsson last year.
No, didn't he win the rookie thing?
Yeah,
or was that the year before?
That was when he was a rookie.
Doesn't matter. He's so great. I'm telling you.
All right. Anyway, McKinnon and Makar, we could combine them.
Yeah, fair enough. Why do we need to put one?
Coming in, that's like saying who gets the face of the Penguins: Crosby, Malkin, Letang, or Karlsson. They're like, add them all to the list.
Crosby.
Yeah, it's Crosby. It's Crosby. Yeah, come on. Yeah, Crosby's been the face of the NHL since he was born. Hey, McKinnon and Makar, they come into town 7 o'clock. Colorado Avalanche. That's on Thursday. And we're going to go live 15 minutes after the game. Like always, we'll be live tweeting the game. It's going to be a good matchup. This is where Jari will start. This is where you'll see P.O. Joseph, Chad Ruedel back in the lineup. A more solid lineup and one that is most likely going to be our main roster going forward. You could call me out if it's wrong. Or if Ludwig comes back and he's healthy, which I doubt it because it's going to be in 2 days, because he clearly has a concussion. If he's back, I would like to see Ludwig back in the lineup. I want to see what he could do. but I don't think we're going to see him until Saturday. But Thursday is our main goal. Call me out if that roster change is not correct. Josh, where can these people find this podcast?
Yeah. As always, you can find this podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. So in audio format, we have it in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Audible, iHeartRadio.
Keep on going.
Nah, I think that's all of them.
We're everywhere, man. We're everywhere.
And then in visual, it's YouTube. If you're not
Twitch.
catching us, but if you're not catching us live, you can go onto our YouTube at Pens Collective and go under the live tab. They have this new live tab, and that's where all of our videos are. If you miss it and you want to catch up on Louie's rants, for instance, then that's where you'll find it. But live, Louie is right. It is Twitch. It is YouTube. It is Twitter. X.
Bingo. X.
Yeah, I think that's
guys, don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch. Follow us wherever we are social media wise. We're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. We're trying to grow something here. We're trying to grow the Pens Collective here. And we really want you guys to be a part of it. We love hearing what you guys have to say, like Jackson and Kyle coming in clutch with some comments today. Come back next game, and next week, and make sure you guys comment. We want to hear what your take is on the game. We want to know what you guys thought. That's the whole point of this TPC, the Penguins Collective. It is a fan base collective rooting for the Penguins organization, and we want to hear what you have to say. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. That'll do it for this episode. We will see you on Thursday. And Josh,
as always.
Yeah, that was your cue, Josh.
Well, I thought you were gonna say, and Josh, as always, and I was gonna say, let's go Pens. But
all right, Josh, as always,
let's go Pens.